This is a production of WKNO Memphis. Production funding for this program is made possible in part by the WKNO Production Fund, the WKNO Endowment Fund, and by viewers like you. Thank you.
I'm Amy Shannon. Welcome to Local Color. And if Joe Whitmer's here, I know what time it is.
International Blues Challenge,
The 29th.
January the 29th through February the 2nd.
Wow, that's awesome.
5 days on historic Beale Street.
And what do you have coming up, Chris?
Tony Horn is here to talk about The Mountaintop, the Olivier Award-winning play by Katori Hall. Katori Hall being Memphis's own emergent playwright.
And she brought us...
Hurt Village.
Hurt Village.
At the Hattiloo last year. Really fantastic production that is not staged just blocks away from where the original Hurt Village was. It was really powerful. And I think that this show that uses Martin Luther King as one of the central characters is also going to take Memphis by surprise.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
And you know, Pat Mitchell-Worley's not with us on the set, but she got to interview Luther Dickinson from the North Mississippi All-Stars
That's
about
never a
the
bad thing.
Heck no, at Ardent about the upcoming Opus 1 with the Memphis Symphony and the North Mississippi All-Stars. That's going to be cool. I can't wait. And it's going to be at the Daisy.
At the new Daisy
I'm
Theater.
so excited.
It's been one of the best things going.
Okay, do you guys know about woodcuts?
A little bit.
Are they like paper cuts?
No, it's where you take a block of wood and you cut away the meat and just leave the outline.
I actually do know about woodcuts. You work in reverse.
Exactly,
And then you print your material. It's really intricate work and a little bit dangerous. It's easy to...
Well, Howard Simon has the American Modern Woodcuts exhibit at the Brooks that's through January the 27th. And I used to do woodcuts when I was a kid and had time to do things like that. And I love it. It's so, it engages another part of your mind to, like you said, work in reverse. So instead of working on the content, you're working on the outlines.
Every time I've ever done it, I've looked like just a bloody mess.
Yeah, like you've been playing with barbed wire.
Yep.
I can't pick up the chisels without getting cut.
Well, and these are super sharp, and usually they're shaped like a V, and you know, you gotta hold the wood and carve away from yourself, which usually means gouging your fingers, but that's really a cool exhibit.
Yeah, it's just been ridiculous. This looks like an American Horror Story every time I've ever tried it.
Well, I suggest that you highly suggest that you go to see it. This guy was trained in New York and Paris. He was a magazine illustrator, and he actually grew up in the Arkansas, what are the mountains over there?
The Ozarks.
The Ozarks. So, you know, thank you. This is his interpretation of his life in the Ozarks. I think it's a pretty cool exhibit. So, are you going to go see it?
Probably so, yeah. I see pretty much everything they bring through the Brooks.
I'm ready. Let's
I'm
go.
there. I'm
We
on
go
it.
now. Is it open yet? When's the date?
It's open now through the 27th.
We're on our way.
Thanks, guys. We'll have some great things to talk about today in just a moment. Chris will be talking with director Tony Horn about The Mountaintop.
Katori Hall is Memphis's playwright.
I'd say so.
Yeah. I remember first hearing about her emergence with a very early sort of workshop production of Hurt Village. And I remember thinking then, oh, we have this emergent playwright coming from Memphis, please let her be good. And then I don't hear anything for a long time. And then she wins the Olivier Award for The Mountaintop in London, which you are currently directing its Memphis premiere. A piece of internationally acclaimed art is coming home.
Well, it's an exciting opportunity because Katori is an international sensation herself. The play is an international sensation. And for the first time, you're right, we're doing the play in Memphis. It is set in Memphis. It's set in the Lorraine Motel. It's about Dr. King. Katori writes from her experiences growing up in Memphis. Her village, of course, was about Hurt Village and was set in that housing project. And that's an iconic piece of Memphis history there. But for us to go back and deal with Dr. King and deal with this play, which is the day before his assassination, that is a heavy piece of material for us, right? We still have this sort of psychic, I think, weight on us about having been the place where Dr. King was assassinated.
No, I think you're right. And it was interesting talking to Katori the very first time, even before The Mountaintop was produced on Broadway. Even after it had been such a success in England, she was very nervous that American audiences would be able to accept it the same way, because Dr. King looms so large in our imagination, and this is such a humanizing portrait.
It's a very intimate, very human portrait, and I think when I read it, I was drawn to it because of that. It is showing us a side of Dr. King. He's a man just like you, just like me, who was called to do extraordinary things, and he did those extraordinary things with a big heart, but we want to look at him as a human being, and we're not used to seeing that. And when I read it, I thought, boy, I love this play, but I'm not sure how my audiences here in Memphis will react. And after working on the show, I think it's going to split along age group. I think those of us who were alive when Dr. King was assassinated will take this very differently than those who were born after his assassination.
And that's interesting. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think I was a kid, for example, when Dr. King was assassinated, but I grew up understanding the weight of that because my parents and my family lived through it. And civil rights was shifting during my lifetime in a way that maybe someone who was born 20 years later is only seeing glimpses of this on Black History Month or King Day or in their books, and maybe they don't talk about it at home. So it's something that seems foreign or far away, so they can come in with it, see Dr. King as this human being because they're not so attached to this mythic sort of man that the rest of us know.
Right. Well, I mean, after, now that it's had a life on Broadway and it's had some regional productions, I talked to her again, and she was saying that it's, that it might help people to put them in the right frame of mind to think about just the theater and how it's about these conflicts between people, not between myths or ideas, but between people. And I think that's a good reminder from time to time.
Well, I think so, and particularly for this show. We're dealing with Dr. King, and we're dealing with a mysterious woman. She's a maid who's come to the room. Her name is Kamei, and Kamei is funny and smart and loudmouthed and foul-mouthed.
Right.
And as we see these two people talk and build a friendship over the course of an evening, that will tell the story, right? The play that you're coming to see, the first 10 or 20 minutes is not the play that you think you're coming to see.
Right.
By the end, it will take you in on a surprising journey. And I feel like Katori's really good at creating character relationships and writing really beautiful, incisive dialogue. I think it's one of her many gifts, but I think that will really be exciting for the audience.
Quickly, because we're running out of time, on Broadway, this was Samuel L. Jackson and Angela Bassett interpreting the roles. Tell me a little bit about your cast.
Well, locally, I have Lawrence Blackwell playing Dr. King. Lawrence looks nothing like Dr. King, right? We wanted to go with someone who was
make that leap.
A strong actor, and we didn't want to try to imitate because we didn't want people to compare. But we're also acknowledging he's played Dr. King before.
Right.
This is the third time. And Deetra Payne, who is an actress who works down at Ole Miss, and she's a Hattie Lou actress.
That's cool. Thank you, Tony. Mamie's up next with Joe Whitmer to talk about the upcoming International Blues Challenge.
Hey, Joe, I'm glad you're here. You know, this is my favorite time of the year.
Mamie, it's our favorite time of the year, too. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. The 29th International Blues Challenge.
29 years on Beale Street, 29 years of bringing the best young blues acts to Memphis.
It is insane, the people that come to this event. You tell me tell me the economic impact again.
We estimated it at $3.3 million a year.
And I mean, you got to think about this. We have people on Thursday night that are coming to the Daisy for the opening night international showcase.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday
That's
night.
moved up to Tuesday
Oh,
night now.
snap. I need to check my notes.
5 days on Beale Street now.
So Tuesday night, we've got people from Austria, Canada. We've got people from
Croatia,
Croatia. We've
There'll
got
be-
people from the Netherlands, Germany,
Norway,
and who's the new one that's never been here before?
Austria, and we also have the Slavic Republic.
The Slavic Republic. What does their blues sound like?
We've never had those acts in Memphis yet, so we'll find out. But if it's anything like the Netherlands, it's seeped in Delta blues.
So the Netherlands, you told me they were kind of like hill country or delta?
They are instilled with the blues from the Mississippi Delta and hill country. So you'll have the repetitive percussion sound of the hill country, but it'll be smooth and methodical like the Delta blues.
That is so cool. And that's going to be Tuesday night at the New Daisy.
The whole event starts on Tuesday night at the New Daisy Theater. Doors are at 5:30. We'll have 12 international acts that night, and then Wednesday and Thursday the quarterfinals, and then Friday we'll have semifinals, and the whole event will conclude at the Orpheum with finals on Saturday. And that'll be an all-day event. this
Okay, now
year.
we can get a ticket if we just want to go to one event, or we can get a weekend pass if we want to go to all the events.
If you're gonna go to the entire event, the best value is to get the pass from the Blues Foundation website, and that's $100, and that will get you into all of the nighttime
my
events and
gosh.
all the daytime events.
Okay, now listen, we're going to have that on WKNO.org/local color. We're going to have all this information on our website and a link to your website as well. So, I mean, I like going to the finals, but I also like going to the competitions that lead up to the finals, because there are some really amazing, talented folks that don't make the final cut that you need to go see, because you're looking at the new history being made.
That's absolutely right, and something that we tell the artists, and it's just lip service, but something we tell them when we first see them in Memphis at our first orientation is, to come to Memphis, they're already winners.
That's it.
They've already won their local competition. They are the best of the best in their region. And then they come to Memphis to compete with others that are the best from their region. So every affiliate that's in the United States and Canada must have an open competition to send an act to Memphis.
Wow.
And many times in a lot of the affiliates in a lot of states and provinces, there's 10, 15, 20 acts that are vying to come to Memphis.
Well, and you know, one thing that I think is really cool too is you'll see somebody that's new to the competition this year that may not make it into the finals, but watch them at the rest of the finals, because they're taking notes. They're talking to the other artists. They're talking to the people in the industry, and they come back the next year, and you can really see how they've progressed. You know,
One of the things about the International Blues Challenge, it's really not about who actually makes it to finals and who's crowned the winner, even though that's really nice to take home. What it's really about is coming to Memphis and seeing what other styles of blues and what other artists are doing in other areas. And it's also taking the notes, doing the networking, meeting with the industry insiders and the professionals to advance your career. And the most important thing that the International Blues Challenge does on the local level, as it goes back to the countries and the states and the provinces, is the experience of professionalism. They learn what other people are doing around the world, and they take that back to their own area. And those artists that maybe competed with the artists that won will go back and they'll meet and they'll go see those bands, and those bands will take notes so they get better too. So regardless of what happens in Memphis, they're already winners, and they're already taking back blues excellence to their own regions, and that's just so exciting on so many levels.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for coming, Joe.
Thanks for having me, Mamie.
Last week, Pat Pat Mitchell-Worley got to catch up with Memphis royalty, well, and North Mississippi royalty as well, Luther Dickinson from the North Mississippi All-Stars.
I'm Pat Mitchell-Worley here with Luther Dickinson of the North Mississippi All-Stars at the historic Ardent Studio. How are you doing today, Luther?
Very well, and yourself?
I'm pretty good. I
know
can't
it.
complain. So let's just talk about there's so many exciting things going on with you. I mean, first of all, we'll start out with the fact that just a few months ago, you decided to be the overachiever that you are and release 3 records in one day.
Yeah.
3 records in one day.
That was coincidental, but it did work out.
It
did work out.
I thought it was like this master plan or something. I was like, oh, that's such a smart idea, you know?
But I got lucky that my instrumental acoustic record, Hambone's Meditation, which is literally just acoustic guitar by itself, but it messed around and got nominated for a Grammy.
For a Grammy Award.
And it's an independent release on our little label. It couldn't be more humble.
That's pretty exciting.
It's insane.
Well, another exciting thing that you have coming up is you guys are teaming up with the Memphis Symphony as a part of their Opus 1 series.
We're very
so
excited.
talk a little bit about that.
I'm very excited. Well, you know, I've been aware of them. I first became aware of them when they did the Al Capone concert. And I was like, oh man,
fabulous.
that's what I heard. It was like off the chain.
Yeah.
And then the continuation, they worked with Lucero, some of our best friends. And of course, you know, we're all always gone, so we never get to see each other perform anymore. But I heard that was great too.
Yeah.
And then we snuck in and did one Naris concert down on the Gulf Coast. And Sam Shoop arranged a small, you know, we had a small orchestra down at this gig. And Jimbo and Susan Marshall, and we were all there together. It was a really good thing. And we played this one song, you know, with a small orchestra, and it blew my mind. Like at rehearsal, when the whole band kicked in, I just like forgot every lyric I'd ever written, you know. It was just like so disorienting to hear that sound behind us. So anyway, Sam is doing our arrangements for this, and that kind of just like led the way to it. And we're gonna do songs, you know, a couple of old songs off of the early days, and
Oh, awesome.
just, you know, some new songs.
So you guys, have y'all had rehearsals yet?
Not yet.
So I'm just curious how, you know, that nice North Mississippi slide that you do is going to sound with, you know, with this violin behind it and
I know.
everything.
Well, it's fun. When we did it that one time, Sam's arrangement was so amazing because it was like we were just doing our thing. It was like kind of a little ragtime song called Jelly Rollin' All Over Heaven. And but it sounded like, you know, like the Ray Charles band behind us or something. Because he took like my slide parts and made them into trombone and strings.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's funky. And the songs, you know, we got pretty songs and rock songs, and it's going to be a nice variety.
Well, with this whole idea, this, you know, taking something as traditional as, you know, the classical sound and putting it together with something modern,
And
because
raw.
you guys are a combination of really that modern thing, but you've got a lot of throwbacks.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you hear all of your influences in your music, so just the idea for you being a musician and a musician who loves to create a moment.
That's right.
You know, are you excited about the show?
Very, very excited. We're
Well,
thrilled.
I think that. So who's in the band now? What's
With the All-Stars?
Yeah, what is the All Stars now?
Well, right now it's Cody and I, and our friend Lightning Malcolm has been playing bass and drums and guitar with us on the road. You know, Chris Chu has been his health is awesome.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Awesome.
Chris
He's
Chu being bass player for, you know, original part of the band and
for years and years and years.
and
Forever.
has been out of the band for a little while just for
Yeah.
health issues. So he's
Yeah.
doing good.
Well, he dropped out. You know, it started in May of '09, and then you know, he started driving buses more and more, rock and roll tour buses, because he was driving for us and he got the bug and he loves it. He really is happy driving, and that's a beautiful thing. But you know, we really missed him at Thanksgiving because we
Yeah.
always have our hometown Thanksgiving show, and that was too bad. Then we just recorded a new record, and he was working again. You know, so as Dwayne Burnside and I always say, you know, once an all-star, always an all-star. Yeah, because it's a loose thing, you know. But man, we just recorded a new record titled "World Boogie Is Coming." That'll come out this spring, And the working title was Cottonfield Disco, but we switched it to World Boogie Is Coming. But man, it's nasty, and we're really having an exciting period of time.
Well, awesome. We are looking forward to that Opus 1. That's going to be a fabulous performance, and everybody should go out and check out Opus 1 with the North Mississippi All-Stars.
I'm so glad you guys could join me today.
It's been a lot of fun.
It has been fun, hasn't
It's
it?
always fun.
So I'm going to the Blues Challenge. I told Joe I may even work because, I can't go to an event and not work. So
It's fun. I was a part of that, judged some of that years and years ago, or one of its precursors,
You have indeed.
and have watched, you get to see blues bands from Singapore, or from, the other thing is that all across the country leading up to the Blues Challenge, every little hometown paper is writing some
Oh my
article
gosh,
about,
yes.
Which hometown favorite band has just been accepted to go to Memphis, and it's a big deal. to
it
all
is a
of these
big deal,
folks.
and I think that Memphians should be ashamed if they don't go. I mean, it is the International Blues Challenge. It is unreal. Beale Street is,
We've only been doing this 29 years.
Yeah.
We want to see Memphis come on out. We want to see
Yeah.
Memphis support this. Memphis Blues Society has a couple acts in it this year. There's regional acts that are involved, and not to mention all of the international acts that'll be in town. It's really the biggest blues party
on earth.
in the year every
On
year,
earth.
and it continues to get bigger, and better and better and better.
And I want to know, who are you taking with you to go see Mountaintop?
I think that I'm going solo to that one.
Well, I want to go.
Oh, well, I'll see if I can do something about that.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
Okay, I'll make some phone calls.
And I'm really excited about Luther Dickinson and the North Mississippi All-Stars coming up. That is just so amazing that it's going to be at the Daisy. It's my favorite venue.
The project
and-
has been fantastic. And
Oh
look,
my
look who all they've had. The
gosh.
Memphis Symphony Orchestra with Joyce Cobb, the Memphis Symphony Orchestra with Lucero, the Memphis Symphony Orchestra with Al Capone, the
Marcia
Memphis Symphony
Pinilla.
Orchestra with Amy LaVere.
It's a wonderful, wonderful project.
Yeah, and it's not pops. It's not like they just put down some sheet music and they're
Right.
playing together. It's a real collaboration, and what comes out of it is not anything you can get anywhere else.
Well, the Al Capone thing, when You Dig Dance Academy was there with them, that was so
Oh yeah,
cool.
they performed an urban ballet to Beethoven's Fifth, and it was just whimsical and amazing, and there are really interesting things that are happening in our dance and classical music.
There's some really good talent in Memphis.
There really
period.
is.
And to combine the arts together like this is it's so awesome.
Rock and roll was a mongrel art form, and it's just nice to see rock and roll happen in other ways.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing I wanted to bring up is, we talked a while back about the Ghost River Brewing Tour. Sadly, the Ghost River Brewing Tour is no more. But
If you love the Ghost River Brewery, that's really good news, because now you can get your beer regularly now instead of waiting till next week to
Yes.
get your growlers filled up.
yes,
So,
but they're brewing 7 days a week. That's why the tours were canceled. I mean, they have, and this is what I didn't know.
Now, I
do you know
can't
what a
buy
short?
it before noon on Sunday.
Do you know
Can
what
they
a
brew
short
it before
fill
noon
is?
on Sunday?
Do you know what a short fill is?
I have no idea.
Okay, if it's a 12 ounce, and the machine doesn't fill it up all the way,
Yeah.
it's in the bottle, it's capped, but it's not 12 ounces.
Yeah.
They sell short fills off the loading dock as well.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, I love that. I don't know why, but
It's
I
like,
think
it's
that's
like
cool.
the factory seconds of beers.
Yeah,
That's
and you
good.
know me, I like my
Your
seconds.
bargains?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a bargain hunter.
well,
I
one
got
of the
my
great
bargain
things
beer.
about living downtown is being so close to Ghost River Brewery.
Well, Ghost River right now, the 1887 IPA is their seasonal beer, but it is going fast. Then the one that's coming out in the spring is called Black Magic. Obviously, it's their dark beer, so look for that like in May. But another thing that's really cool, they have the golden beer, the Glacial Pale Ale, the Copperhead Red, which is an award-winning beer. They have, it's in local stores at, is it Rafey's or Raffy's on Poplar?
I've always said Raffy's.
Raffy's?
They've always said Raffy's.
It's at Raffy's. I mean, all of them are at Raffy's. It's at Miss Cordelia's. It's at the Fresh Market. It's at Whole Foods. Buy local, support local, get your local beer on. And, even though you can't go to the tour there, the Gibson Guitar Factory is right around the corner.
And their beer is excellent.
Their beer is superb.
It's been a few years since I've had a beer at the Gibson factory,
Yeah,
actually.
the Gibson closed down their event venue, but you know, that tour is just so sweet. You actually walk through the factory and learn about the way that Gibsons were developed and evolved, and see them actually making the guitars right there. It's one of my favorite tours downtown.
I like it too.
To see something handmade right in downtown Memphis is awesome. We've got beer and guitars.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
And the blues.
And we've got the blues downtown.
And the Tigers aren't doing too bad either.
Not very bad.
Well, what are you guys going to do this weekend?
We'll rest up for IBC coming up.
That's the truth. Thank
And
you.
maybe going to the Brooks.
Oh, I'm going. It's
And
going
I'm
to be a
always at
cool
the
event.
theater.
I know. I gotta
Always
get
in the
you.
theater.
I keep saying I'm going to get you out, and you never ever do.
I do.
You play and you go to the theater. That's it.
Oh, I think that's not true.
Well, I think that it is.
Well, there's lots of great things going on locally each and every weekend.
That's right. So,
So get out and do something. Check out your local color.
thank you. I'm so glad you guys could come and see me. Joe, thank you for coming for the opening and the close.
Thank you for having me, Mamie.
I'm so glad you're here.
It's always great to be here.
It's not that I don't love you, Chris.
I know. You're just used to me.
I know. Thank you, guys. Go out and enjoy your local color and come back and see us next week.